going on, people? Let me tell you what happened to me. I am currently in jail. I know that you see a very fancy background. Don't be fooled. I'm in jail. I'm locked up, won't let me out. Hashtag Akon. I'm locked up, they won't let me out. I am in jail. Let me tell you what happened. Last Monday, I took a PCR test so that I could travel to the island of Barbados for my birthday, which happens to be Christmas, okay? I took that PCR test. It took forever to come back, but it came back negative. Wonderful. Let's get on the plane. Let's go. We get to Barbados. Barbados says, oh, you did a self-administered test, darling. We don't accept that. That is invalid. We're going to have to test you again, and you'll have to be in quarantine for the first evening until you get your results. Fine. I'm confident. If it was negative on Monday, it'll be negative today. So Thursday morning, we take another PCR test. We are quarantined in our room. Friday morning, we get the results. All good. Negative for COVID.
We got our COVID test back, and they are negative, of course. We are free.
Go live your life, right? Yeah? That's exactly what I did. Now, in order to get back into the United States, I need another negative COVID test. So we had a wonderful weekend. This island and these people and this culture and this resort have spoiled me rotten. I am good, right? I am good. Birthday tank is full. We go to the nursing station to do our COVID test to come back. It's a rapid COVID test. She sticks this nostril and she says, oh no, honey, you're positive. I said, who are you talking to? No, I am not. Run it again. She said, if I do it again, you'll have to pay for it. I said, ma'am, pay for it. Run the other nostril. I don't have COVID. I'm vaccinated and I do all of the things, I wash my hands. I sanitize my hands. I stay away from people. I still wear my mask most of the time. I am single-handedly responsible for the entire immune system business industry because I buy all the things, all of them. Emergency, vitamin C, D, zinc, elderberry, all of it is a part of my regular regimen because I am paranoid of germs and I judge people who are not paranoid of the germs. You walk into a bathroom and I see you not wash your hands, I'm judging you. I'm probably cussing you out and I'm probably wanting to spray myself and you with Lysol. I do all the things. There's no way I have COVID. Run it again. Take my debit card. So she runs it again and the second nostril comes back positive for COVID. I said, no, ma'am, there's no way this is incorrect. I've been in the AC. My nose is probably a little stuffy and there's probably getting all kind of regular booger germs in there, which is given a false positive because this is incorrect. She says, okay, this is what we'll do. I'll do the PCR test and I'll have that sent and you'll get those results in the morning. I'll have the health manager reach out to you. Cool. Bye. We left, enjoyed our day, did our thing. We come back about 2:00 in the morning. We get our COVID results. And guess who's positive for the PCR? You can't argue with the PCR. That's the DNA, the fabric of COVID finder test. Me, Janelle, the one that does all the things to stay healthy, has COVID. You know who doesn't have COVID? Jazz. My husband. Not that I wanted him to have COVID, but let me just explain to you why this is annoying. My husband doesn't get sick. And the entire time that we've been together, he's been sick one time, okay? And that was pretty scary because I'm not used to seeing my strong man sick. I had to get my prayer warriors together to pray for him because I was like, I don't know what to do with this. The man can't walk straight. Anyway, he doesn't get sick. He doesn't get hurt. He's a handy, fix everything type of man. He could drop a whole house on his foot. Foot could be hanging off the ankle bone with toes hanging off and bleeding out and toenails popping all over the place. And he's like, don't worry about it. Keeps right on working. Have 3 fingers left to work with. He's still working. Doesn't feel it. He's fine. This is how manly of a man he is. And he doesn't get sick. You know why he doesn't get sick? You know why? Because unlike us mere mortal Americans, Jazz was born in the hills of Mordor, forged in the islands of Trinidad and Tobago. He was born amongst fruits and berries and citrus and natural plants and protected from all the icky ooey gooeys of America, okay? From birth, his immune system has been fortified from the inside out. That's why he didn't get COVID. That's why he can stand in a room full of germs and not get one. I'm a little jealous. You would think that by way of marriage, by marital pumps, that somehow my immune system would be on his level, but apparently it's not because I have COVID and he doesn't. So now I'm in crisis mode. I said, I have COVID, you don't. I'm not staying here. What are we going to do? What is the plan? Now, mind you, it's like 3:00 in the morning at this point. Okay, I'm freaking out. I don't know what we're going to do. I'm not staying here. I'm not staying in this country by myself. We got to get home to our dogs. I have a job that I enjoy that I need to get home to. None of this is working for me. So come 6 o'clock, I wake Jazz up and I was just like, what can we do? He's like, listen, the airport doesn't really pay attention. I was like, this is a gamble I'm willing to take. Let's do it. Pack your bags. Because at this point, I'm still not convinced that I have COVID. Y'all, we were going to make a run for it, okay? It was straight up Bonnie and Clyde, let's go. My husband was like, I'm not leaving my baby here. And wife was like, I'm not leaving. I'm not staying here without you. So let's go. As soon as we zipped up our bags to make this mad dash and run to the airport, formulating how we're going to distract the ticket agent so that they don't realize they got the wrong name and let me on the plane, knock at the door. Pop, pop, pop. He looks at me, I look at my suitcase, and all of the hope in my body evaporated from my gut. We go answer the door. It's the health lady. Okay, we recognize her because Jazz and I are super friendly and we talk to everybody. And I'm like, oh, great. Good job being super friendly. Now the health lady knows who we are and she's going to put 2 and 2 together when we try to make a run for it. She says, hi, I'm sorry. You have COVID. Jazz, you don't. So you're free to go. But Janelle, you're going to have to stay here in quarantine for 10 days. 10 days? 10 days? Immediately, Jazz and I sit down and try to formulate a plan. I was not built for breaking the law. I'm the oldest of 7. I have been formed and ingrained to do the right thing and to get others to do the right thing. So I don't know the first thing about being on the run or being a criminal. So I call one of my family members, which will remain nameless as I'm not about to put her business out there on the street. But one of my siblings had a record. One of my siblings had the law looking for them. One of them had a warrant out for their arrest and had to avoid an entire state for a while. We're just going to leave it at that. Don't ask no questions. I'm not going to answer it. I said, this is what's going on. What's the likelihood? What are my chances? What can I expect? Like, will we be on the run just to get back to Florida or will we be on the run forever? Like, what do I need to do? What do I need to wear? I'm trying to get some actual criminal advice from her. She was useless. All she decided to do was let me know of all the things that could go wrong if I get caught. She says it's not worth the risk. First of all, if you have COVID, you're a risk to everybody around you. Second of all, if you get caught with a falsified test, that's up to $500,000 or up to a year in jail. I'm not built for jail. I know I'm not built for jail. I'm barely built for camp, okay? I need things in order to function, like toilet paper and running water. There's no way that I could do jail. There's no way. Health manager comes back and says, listen, you guys have to make a decision. Jazz can stay with you for quarantine, but we're going to retest him in 5 days. And if he comes back negative, his quarantine will start there. What kind of option is that? Obviously, we're not going to do that. So we decide, listen, you're going to go. The CDC just decided that quarantine should go from 10 to 5 days. Hopefully Barbados will catch up. It won't be that bad. You can stay in the room. She let us know that Sandals has its own insurance. So luckily I can stay in my room that I already paid for. I don't have to pay anything extra. I'm quarantined to this room. Can't go anywhere. Jazz is going to go home. So Jazz and I spend our last 2 hours together, cuddling as much as possible. He's being all super sweet and wiping my tears. I wasn't even trying to cry. Liquid was just flowing. I was just devastated. Obviously, I know that there are worse things, but this was pretty bad for me to end my birthday going to Barbados jail in a resort. Whatever. Don't judge me. We'll get back to that. So Jazz and I say our goodbyes. I am utterly heartbroken. I absolutely adore my husband. I have a super big crush on him. He's one of my favorite people, even when he gets on my nerves. The thought of not being with him for 10 days was literally made me sick to my stomach. And the fact that it was going to be another 10 days without my dogs, the other 2 things that are the most important to me, Gizmo and Yzma. They're going to forget what I smell like by the time I get home. And then I'm going to have to set something on fire. Anyway, so Jazz leaves. I'm sitting here just looking around okay, I have a choice to either be upset or to try to be positive. I'm going to choose to be positive. This is a blessing. I'm not severely ill. I get to stay in this fancy hotel for free. Let me let my boss know. Let me just start figuring out how to work it out. My train of positivity derailed when the health manager called and said, hey, the Ministry of Health is going to call you. I said, the who? She said, the government. The government has my name now? The government. So the Ministry of Health is going to call, okay? Great. I get a call from the Ministry of Health. She wants my passport information, all my personal information, asking me if I have any symptoms, to which I tell her no. I did have a little bit of a runny nose. I think I've coughed like twice in the entire time that I've been here, but no, I don't have a fever. I don't have a rash. I don't have any of the things that are associated with COVID. What I do have is the vaccine. Anyway, so she says, okay, thank you. That's it. I'm like, oh, that's it? That's all the Ministry of Health wants? That's all the government wants? Just a little phone call? Cool. I begin to take off my travel clothes because I was ready to get on the plane and go home. Put on my in the room clothes. I'm like, I'm going to be here for 10 days. Might as well get comfortable. Let me look at some room service. And then I get on a pop, 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 knock on the door. It's the health manager again. I swear, every time that someone knocks on the door, my heart drops. She comes to the door. She said, what did the Ministry of Health say? I told her what they said. They just asked me a couple of questions. She said, oh, they're not coming to get you? I said, why would they come and get me? Well, they need to do an assessment to make sure that you're well enough to stay in the resort. I said, this was something that you decided to leave out until my husband left? We didn't want to tell my husband that there's a possibility that I wouldn't stay here? Huh? Fine. Okay. You decided not to disclose this possibility while my husband was here. All right, health manager. I see what you're doing. Then I get a call from the Ministry of Health, and they say, hey, Janelle, we're on our way to come get you. Please pack a bag. What do you mean pack a bag? Pack a bag. You might have to stay overnight. What do you mean stay overnight? No! Pack a bag. Someone will be there shortly to pick you up and escort you down to your transport. Several hours go by. So many hours that I thought that maybe they forgot and I was going to slip through the cracks. And then, pop, 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 there goes that daggone knock at the door. Who is it? You guessed it. My favorite person, the health manager. She comes with a little lunch bag full of snacks. And she said, hey, I brought you some snacks because sometimes it can take a while to get through the assessment. I said, what exactly is the assessment? What do I have to pass? Oh, well, you have to see the nurse. You have to see a doctor. They have to check you for all of the COVID things and make sure that you're well enough to stay here. And in case otherwise you would need to stay there for observation. Okay, so why do I need a bag? Because sometimes they may not be able to get to you the same night and you might have to stay there. But don't worry, I'll make sure you get back here at least by tomorrow. At least by tomorrow. Every ounce of my fiberistic being and DNA follicles said you should have went with your husband. It was worth the risk. And now you're stuck here alone in Barbados, in a country that is not yours, about to get picked up by a transport and taken to a health facility. By the time they picked me up, it was about 7 o'clock. And so I thought, surely, I'm not coming back tonight. I'm not coming back tonight. If this is, and she tells me that it's an hour away. So it's 7 o'clock, you're just not picking me up. It's an hour away and you got to process and do assessments and all that. What kind of doctors are working at 8 p.m.? Anyway, I go downstairs. Y'all, I kid you not. We are in full-blown I Am Legend, World War Z, The Walking Dead, episode 57. The bus looked like it straight up came out of an end of the world movie. It was an old, raggedy, rickety looking bus. It's like you get on the bus and everything is sectioned off with saran wrap and duct tape, which surprised me because Barbados is not a poor island. But this bus was raggedy. Like it should have been in the Outbreak movie or something. I sat on that bus for 2 hours while they drove around the island picking up other people, you know, from their homes, the elderly, children, all masked up, other tourists from other resorts. 2 hours on this bus had no shocks, no suspension. We're literally feeling everything for 2 hours. Everything. And I'm sitting all up in the corner, hugging my little book bag, trying not to cry because I'm a grown woman and my husband left me in this country and I have got COVID and we're just bouncing around, feeling every single bump, every single pebble. Are you feeling it with me right now? That's how this ride was for 2 hours, all up and down and around the island. I got a free tour of the island that I didn't ask for, okay? And if you want to know what happened when I got to the health facility, you need to go and like and subscribe my channel. Link is below.